Hi everyone, thank you for joining us in this session of One Young World Together Apart series. My name is Margianta Surahman and I'm a very proud One Young World ambassador of One Young World in The Hague 2018. I'm also part of the youth movement for FCTC, which focuses on tobacco control, and I'm also part of Emancipate Indonesia, which focuses on modern slavery. These two issues are actually global issues that are affecting all of us in the world. But more importantly, now we have the pressing issue which is affecting all of us in the world, the COVID-19 pandemic. And I don't think we can have a better person to talk with today than with Jack Sim. Hello, Jack. So Jack Sim is actually the founder of World Toilet Organization and the founder of the World Toilet Day, a United Nations Observance Day officially globally recognized as a day in November 19th to inspire us to take action to tackle the global sanitation crisis. Speaking about the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, we have to agree that hygiene and sanitation is very much important for us to tackle this crisis, which is exactly why we have Jack Sim with us today. The pandemic actually has affirmed that actually most existing health system now cannot cope on exceptional levels of demand like this current pandemic, right? And however, in some cases, we see that developing countries have more effective responses and infrastructure in the first place. And what kind of example that can we learn actually from this so-called global South countries or developing countries, why they are handling it better, like Vietnam and some other countries? What do you think is the greatest lesson that we learned?
I think the fast reaction is very important, that people are serious about the threat. For example, if you look at Donald Trump, he always say there's no problem. And then the problem come, and then he continued to say there's no problem until the governor of states are running the solution themselves and the president is no more in charge because he's always thinking there's no problem. If you go to a lot of the countries that are successful, they do it themselves very, very quickly. Government are efficient, but the people also cooperate a lot. So in China, people just stay at home. They follow the instruction. In a lot of European countries, they go out for concert. They don't care. Oh, there's a summer beach. If I die, I die. I just go to the beach. And everybody is crowding. And that is a kind of like a mass suicide. And you don't understand why people don't take it seriously, don't stay read the newspaper or get the social media. So I think the collaboration of people taking care of one another is important. Reaction is actually a sign of how cohesive the society is. We have to make others safe so that we are safe.
So we have to come closer together and really help each other and really realize that this crisis is real. Like some people say, like, you know, I'm a young people, I'm invincible, but eventually everyone is in danger, right, Jack?
Yeah, there are some people some media that come out to say only old people die. It's not true. The chances of old people dying is higher, but nobody is risk-free.
Yeah. So it is very important for us to realize this importance of this pandemic, and especially as young people, we must set examples. And just like you said, going to social media, spread the news, give information that are right, and yeah, maybe keep the hopes up, right, Jack? With a little bit of humor, maybe.
For example, our government wanted an early election because they think that this is the best time to win the election. People are worried. They don't want to change the government. And then the public says, no, we don't want to come out to elect. So if you have an election, your turnout will be very, very low. So now I think they are reconsidering. So people have to people have to speak up. People have to tell each other what they feel rather than blindly follow instruction.
Great, very great point there, Jack. Thank you. So maybe one more thing, Jack. This is from Alice in the UK. So actually, our ambassador Alice says, As the founder of World Toilet Day, you have spoken out about breaking taboos around proper hygiene and sanitation through the use of comedy. Is there room for laughter during this crisis, Jack?
This crisis is a very serious crisis. What it's teaching us is how to simplify our life. And I will tell you that this is no laughing matter, because after the virus is over, the job losses, the bankruptcy, and the economic crisis will create very, very serious hardship. Now, there are three ways that we can react. The first is to go back to life as usual and to spend money and to pollute the world and to do consumption growth. This is not sustainable. No amount of climate change activity, whether it's a Paris Treaty or Greta Thunberg, they can't do anything. But COVID has now cleaned up the air and has now cleaned up the seawater because people are no more consuming. It's proof that we have to be more frugal and not to overconsume. So if we return to consumption growth, we will have the next crisis. Second, we can create a society where people start caring for one another the moment they have basics and are sufficient. So we do not have to show off, we do not have to overconsume and have so many handbags or so many pair of shoes at home. We just need to be a simple life. And then once we have the simple life, we start helping one another. Now, the young people in your group has to consider, how can we design the world to reach that position? Because that's a very beautiful world where you care for one another the moment you are okay, and then there is enough to go around, and there is happiness coming not from consumption but from relationship. And the last possibility is the worst one, that because there's no job, everybody is going to rob each other and create more crimes and become even more selfish. Do you want this world? So you have three choices: business as usual, a caring future, or a crime increase. Make your decision and design the world accordingly.
Great point there, Jack. So we need to go beyond business as usual. I think the greatest point of this whole interview was that, after all of this over, maybe we can also rethink about how our world works, how we consume. Just like you said, do we overconsume or not? And on the other hand, some people are very needy. Some people are very much, have everything they need, even more. So maybe this is a turning point for us to think that we are only as strong as our weakest link. Is it right, Jack? Like, everybody, if anybody is still vulnerable, then we are all vulnerable somehow in the system.
No, the current problem is we design the world in a very masculine manner. We want to win, which means we want others to lose. We hope that everybody lose and everybody suffer and everybody is poor so that we are rich. This is a stupid game design, but we live like that. We have to wake up. We have to say, this kind of a world makes no sense. We want to create a world where there is no winner and there is no loser, and that everybody is cared for. And I think this is the philosophy of the mother. The mother takes care of the family, doesn't claim the credit. So there's no need to be a hero. There is a need to be kind. So I think that leaders or young people don't need to try to be a hero. All you have to do is to be kind and to create a culture. The distribution of wealth is good, and a millionaire is defined as one that improves the life of 1 million people and not have $1 million. That is no use that you have money and nothing to do with everybody else. But if you help people, then you should be celebrated, recognized, and appreciated. But if you have a lot of money, we ignore you. You think about a solution in the long term, social enterprises, social businesses would be better. So if you want to solve water problem, think of how to create water filtration, do water pump or wherever is your source of water, and then use that as a business. Because when people get water, they are able to live, they are able to be healthy, and then where they are saving the money will be able to pay for the water. If you don't have the supply and always wait for the government, you are at the mercy of their efficiency, which is not always available. So think about, give a man a fish is not sustainable, teach them to fish is always better.
Great. So we need to actually be proactive, like the government has to be proactive to not only give incentive, but also to support in a way, in your own saying, like how to fish, rather than only giving them the fish.
Yes, always. Every year there's 150 billion US dollar of donation, and it doesn't end poverty. What you need to do is to convert those donations into investment, buy filtration equipment, create water filtration kiosks, and go and make this machinery works so that you are running businesses. And if you don't know, just ask me, I will find the people with the expertise to teach you. But if people don't want to help themselves, they are very vulnerable because the government cannot take care of everybody if they are dysfunctional themselves.
Wow. I lost words because this has been very inspiring for me, Jack. Wow. So I think that really wraps up our interview. I think that was like your last remarks was just, you know, what we need right now, to be more empathetic, to be more optimistic about the world after this pandemic, and the world that we can live in if we want to try, if we can all work together, not only counting on the top-down approach of the government, but also us as a people coming closer together to help each other, and especially with the sanitation that you mentioned before. It's never been so much more important than now. So it has been very mind-blowing for me. Honestly, it's very an honor for me to speak to you, Jack, and we're actually only one island apart, Indonesia to Singapore. So yeah, but thank you very much, Jack, for this interview. Really, we really appreciate your time.
Stay in touch. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much, Jack, and thank you everyone for joining this session with Together Apart discussion series with Jack Sim. I'm Margianta Surahman and signing out. Thank you very much. See you on the next episode.